Okay, Hush was just absolutely wonderful last night. Again, it seems to be developing a really lovely, gentle, and conversational style, which is what I wanted it to be. And that focus on the voice being what is quiet, what is the hush, is really, really coming to the fore. It's always been there, but it seems to be really developing now and becoming something which is really substantial and valid and remarkable. There's so much to be said for just the human voice. I say this in intros to Hush, that sometimes when you're on the mic and you're an egotistical poet like myself, you can sometimes seem like a sort of demigod because the mic makes your voice boom like Zeus or something. And what the whole point is of Hush is to sort of really bring it back to the round, really, to a round of people who might have been in the round of people in, say, the 18th century or whatever it is, or whenever the mummers were doing their thing, or whenever people were just sort of moving from village to village to say their stuff. It has a kind of ancient feel to it, really, which is what I want it to have. So it's organic and old, yet very new, strangely. Our guests were remarkable. Joe Bell has a really light touch when it comes to delivering very poignant and powerful work. She has a sort of almost a comedic twist to the most sonorous of tomes, and she was very moving and remarkably clear in what it is that she wanted to say, both poetically and personally. It was a real joy to listen to. Tony Walsh gave a stellar, I'll call it a performance, even though, because Tony's, you know, Tony's one of our rock and roll poets, I think, but he gave a stellar quietness to what he did yesterday, and a very moving quietness as well. So it was, you know, it was a Tony that we might not see a great deal. He says, you know, and he does put things in his sets which are quiet, but quite often he has that very, and it's great, that wonderful pick me up and rock and roll sense of freedom about it. But he really brought it in and gave a stunning set of poems which were very revealing and very emotive and had the room listening intently. Wonderful stuff. And then there was Rosie Garland, Nee Lugosi. That sounds like she's married to her alter ego. I wonder if Rosie Garland is married to Rosie Lugosi. Is it? So then it would be Rosie Lugosi hyphen Garland. Again, like I've always said about Rosie, I have a sense of poetic, spiritual, stilly connectedness, not just because we're poets, but, you know, Rosie was and still is a costume performer, and I was a costume performer. And try being a costume performer and think it's easy. It's not. There's a lot of stuff and a lot of thought that goes into it, which is very different to just getting up on stage and doing it. And we both kind of emerged as ourselves at the same time, and she gave a remarkable set of work, all about, I mean, the usual hallmark of great language, but that sardonic humour, which is knowing, witty, attacking and charming all at the same time. It's a rare gift, and she was just a remarkable voice. And there's a lot to do with Rosie's voice. It's that sense of, again, she has this ancient sense of knowing, which I really, really adore. Whether it's a dominatrix trick, I don't know. But I think it's possibly to do with her just being a remarkable human being, really. So Hush was a really lovely, 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 and I'll say it one more time, lovely arena where we all just had an interesting and collective time. And the open sit-downers, again, another stunning set of poems. Thank you very, very much. And here's to the next one. I don't know who's going to be on it yet, but I'll soon be working that out. So until then, shh.